Okay, welcome back. We're talking to our guest, James, and he's talking about his recruiting duty, how he was able to stay on that for 11 years. And if anybody been in the military and done recruiting duty, realize it's a hard job to try to make that your career for 11 years. And it takes a lot of work to do that for 11 years. And eventually, did you get a stripe out of the deal or a rocker?
Well, your rank is still made the same way. You're not going to get promoted based on how well you do.
There'll be no meritorious promotions.
No meritorious promotions.
Wow.
What you do get is you start off with a silver badge, recruiting badge. And then you earn gold stars in it, 3 gold stars, the most that you can earn. And then once you earn your 3 gold stars, then you earn a gold badge. After you earn a gold badge, then you earn the sapphires, the 3 sapphires that go into your badge. After you earn a badge, then you earn a ring. And for the longest time, the majority of the time, the ring was the highest thing that you could award. I do have a ring, I didn't bring it in. My uniform does have my gold badge with the 3 sapphires in it.
You can point out your
The gold recruiting badge,
right there. Okay.
and it has the 3 sapphires in it. I really didn't even think about bringing the ring in today. Oh. Towards the end of my career, they also came out with a belt buckle with the recruiting emblem on it, and that I wasn't there long enough to receive. I took 2,400 points to earn that, and they came out with that about 6-8 months before I retired. So that wasn't anything that I'd be earning there.
So doing this for 11 years, do you get any recognition for as many people as you brought in? I imagine you brought in a lot of people after 11 and a half years of doing this job.
I brought in one certificate, or
Yeah,
I should say one plaque. Oh, no. I have trophies that's probably 4 foot high.
Really?
And majority of my trophies are stored at my sister and brother-in-law's home, which is back in Michigan. Being in the military, you do travel quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd say we did.
So I had, being from Michigan, I left everything at one sister's home. And I do have a big pile stacked up in their room that they're watching over. But yes, while I was on recruiting duty, as one just so that I'd bring something in.
That's nice. And what does it say on there?
This one says Lansing Western Recruiting Station, top LP station for 1991.
Okay, good. That's good. So I know a lot of the Marines, if they keep on the track and bring them in like you do. I don't know if you get put up for Recruiter of the Month, Recruiter of the Year?
Recruiter of the Month, Recruiter of the Year, Recruiter of the Quarter.
And you were, I imagine you were nominated for quite a few of those.
I made quite a few of them. Actually, for myself, Recruiter of the Month a couple times, Recruiter of the Year once, only because I was only on recruiting duty as a recruiter for 18 months. I took the top recruiting station for the quarter, top recruiting station commander for the month, and for the year quite a few times.
What was your rank when you were out there on recruiting duty?
I went in as a staff sergeant, E6. Right. When I retired, I was E7, Sergeant First Class.
And that's what they call it in the Army, Sergeant First Class?
Sergeant First Class,
yes. To our gunnies? Okay.
Correct.
And so when you were there, what was your position in charge of that?
In charge of the recruiting station is Station Commander.
Station Commander, okay.
It's the only place in the Army that an NCO will be called a commander. And that's when he's in charge of the recruiting station.
Now, did you still have an officer over you, or you were it?
I was it for the station. Then you have a company commander and a company first sergeant over all the companies in their area. Now, there's probably an average of anywhere from 5 to 10 stations in a company.
All right.
And that company may cover a half a state, or it may cover 2 states, depending on the population. If you're in an area where there's not a lot of people, then you're spread out a lot. If you're, for example, when I was stationed in Michigan, in Lansing Recruiting Station, we covered about 4 counties. When I was in Minnesota, in Mankato, Minnesota, the company was located up in the Twin Cities,
All right.
St. Paul, Minnesota, and they covered pretty much the whole state and a little bit of northern Wisconsin, so 2 states or 1.5 states. So it really depends on the population.
Now, as successful as you were doing recruiting duty, did you get moved around more than the average? Like, did they tell you we need you at this recruiting station because they're having a problem meeting quota? Does that ever happen?
Sometimes that does happen.
It does happen.
You have your normal rotation, but then there's times where there is a recruiting station that might need help. Now they have recruiter trainers, RTs, and the RT goes out and works with the station commander and also with the recruiters. And they are located at battalion level normally. When I was with the Lansing Recruiting Battalion, I did go up to northern Michigan to Petoskey to work with one of the stations up there as a RT also.
So they
yes,
do send you out there?
They do send us out to go out and help, yes.
You want to say critique or just to assist?
To assist. Basically, you'll go out and you'll ride with the recruiter and you will see what he's doing. You will critique him on it, give him some pointers. And then you might even go ahead and sit down and talk to the applicant yourself so that the recruiter can see how it's done so that he can have a better feeling for it and become a better recruiter himself.
What else do you have? I noticed you brought a couple things, and we've seen your certificate. I've seen an official envelope. I've seen many of those with the seal.
This is a badge, basically. When I was stationed in Germany, I did qualify with the German weapons.
Oh, did you?
When we qualify for a weapon, we qualify for a pistol, rifle, grenade launcher,
Right.
and we get a certificate based on each one of the weapons individually. Where with the German soldiers, they have to qualify with all 3, the machine gun, the rifle, and the pistol. If you qualify as expert on one, you don't qualify as a sharpshooter on the other one, well then you're only going to get sharpshooter, whatever your lowest score is on all 3 weapons. This one was in August of 1983, and I qualified silver, and their ranking is gold, silver, and bronze.
Okay.
So my lowest score would have been in the middle class.
And I noticed you brought in your blouse, and you might explain some of your devices on there. And once again, like I said, a lot of people don't understand what a lot of devices are. I know they look at our ribbons and...
On the right-hand side is a unit citation.
And what unit was that?
And that unit was a recruiting unit that I was in at the time. And because they had made all their quota and exceeded all their quota, the unit itself was given a citation. On the other side are the awards, the good conduct medals, overseas ribbons.
Which one would be your good conduct would be their
the good
top
conduct
center?
Is this one here.
Right.
Okay. The years and longevity, actually, you're gonna get me in trouble here because I'm not remembering every one of them that's up there.
Well, you got your national defense, which is the farther right one.
Yep.
And then your bottom center one, that's the one you get from boot camp
Yes, it is.
upon graduation?
Yes.
Okay. And the one badge to the right, the silver badge, is that your grenade pin badge? That one?
We have the rifle and then the driver.
And the what?
Driver's badge.
What's that?
A driver's badge is you put in so many miles and you have no accidents, they'll give you
really?
a driver's badge. I believe for the driver's badge, and don't quote me, you have to have at least 20,000
20,000 miles? Really?
Right.
Without any accident or,
No
or
accidents,
incident?
no citations.
And what
Yes.
is the patch up on your blouse?
This one is for recruiting.
That was your recruiting patch?
That was the recruiting.
Is that a general recruiting patch or just for that district?
No, this is general recruiting.
Okay,
That's
so-
all we have is a general recruiting patch.
Okay,
We
so
don't-
the different regions don't rate different?
No.
Okay.
It's all one.
And you had on that one you have your
Longevity.
and you just had your
No,
rockers
just the
on that
longevity.
one.
Yeah.
And longevity, you call them longevity, we call them hash marks. You get those every
3 years.
3 years. Our hash marks are every 4 years.
Okay.
And I noticed on your good conduct, you have a knot. What does the knot represent?
That would be 5.
Okay, but why a knot?
Because they run out of room for the individual ones.
Because
so they
we get a
to-
star
Right.
every time. That's why I've always wondered why
We start off with stars.
Oh, you do?
Yes. And then we go to a knot.
Oh, really?
That
Okay.
represents the 5th. Yes.
Oh, okay. I always wanted to ask, what the knot represented, but then you said you start out with the stars and turn to the knots. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right, so we're going to wind down. And what are the top lapel pins on the top of the blouse?
Those are also unit identifiers, but in recruiting, they're all going to be the same, the Liberty Bell. It's basically the same as the shoulder emblem.
Okay. That sounds good. Worst duty station.
Worst duty station.
We only got a minute.
Can't say as I had a worst duty
Really?
station. I enjoyed my career.
I know I've had one or two.
Well, the grass is always greener on the other side, but when you leave there and you look back, it was a good tour.
And that's what we got to say at the end. After it's all over 20 years, we can see more good than bad, or we wouldn't have stayed in for the full 20. And we were talking
it.
before the show, and you retired in '96. I retired in '97. You came in a year before me, and we were on each other. I was right on your heels as far as going through the
way.
career. Yeah, it was something to hear that. Just a year and a month was difference. You came in. I came in October. You came in December.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, just
Good years.
a lot of turmoil in the '70s.
There was.
They're coming in '77 was rough. They're going through a lot of controversies. When I was in North Carolina, had a lot of problems going through there. But
There's a lot of people still didn't like you being in the military because of Vietnam and whatnot.
yeah, we had a lot to burden back then too, as well. It wasn't. We didn't walk into it, but we had to bear it.
Okay.
So, well, I thank you for being on the show,
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
and we'll catch you again next week on Semper Fi. Until then, have a good week. And if you have a story, I want to hear it, and I want to share it with everyone else. Have a good day. Hoorah, Semper Fi.
Hoorah.